Go Vita Wayne, what's good with you?
My man, what's good, Jesse?
Hey, long time coming, bro. We
I
go
know, right?
back. Like
I know, right? I still
shout
got
out
a picture
Portland.
of. Look, I still got a picture at one of your parties that you were. I don't know if you threw it or if you were at it. I can't remember.
We had some
This,
wild times, man.
yeah,
Those mansion parties up in West Lynn and
yeah,
vodka and everything. That was a
yeah,
crazy time of life.
yeah.
We got to
Fell
take
in
it
love with
back
some
though.
girls.
Like, all right, I do remember. All right, I do remember that situation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nah, man, we had some fun times. I was like straight out of college, and the crazy thing is that I like knew about you and was listening to your music probably for like 2 years before I even met you. I don't even know if I told you that. Like St. John's
Yeah,
Scholar, but I think there was one right before it that I was bumping in high school.
yeah. That was probably the Castaway one, the blue one, like the poured out, peaks and valleys.
Bro, pour it out.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
people like
man.
really know this? Because I know like we'll talk about more about what you're doing right now, your current situation, how you're crushing the YouTube game. Do people know that you actually got bars and you got songs that are like classics in Portland?
I think. Well, people in Portland do, but I think the more people get to know me and what I'm doing in this content, I don't think they know at all. But I do think like Portland, a lot of people still know Portland. Yeah, a
Man,
lot of
yeah,
people,
it's amazing.
well, yeah, a lot of people want me to get back to it, and I wish I could channel that like young, hungry,
Mm,
storytelling, kid that I was, but life pulls you into different directions, man. You don't want to neglect something that life is pulling you towards.
mm, that's real.
Yeah,
Well, tell the
yeah.
people what you're doing now. I mean, you're crushing on YouTube. How many subs you got? Like, what's Vinnie the Wayne doing right now?
Yeah, so um, creating a lot of content. A lot of it is reaction videos where I'm just reacting to things that I see on YouTube, whether it's like funny or if it's like controversial or if it means something to me as far as like injustice and stuff like that. So I just put together these reaction videos, but they're unique because I kind of like tell a story and put myself in the mind of why a person would be acting this way or getting into that type of situation. And I think that's what
Mm,
makes it a little bit unique because everybody does reaction videos. And then I got into like editing videos for other content creators and helping them with their YouTube channels and stuff because I started to see like a lot of success on like YouTube Shorts.
mm,
YouTube Shorts is a different game than YouTube regular long form YouTube videos. It's just like it's a distinct editing process where it's like you gotta keep somebody watching 60-second or less video for the whole time pretty much, or hopefully
mm,
over and over. I just got like super obsessed with like creating those short form videos and stuff. And so I've been spending a lot of time making shorts on my channel, helping other people with their channels and stuff like that. And yeah, and then over time it built to a platform with 250,000 subscribers. I mean, 200.
Man, flex off. 215,000 subscribers. How long did that take? I felt like it didn't even take that long. Like you just had a natural gift and you blew up quick.
It took like a year. It took a year. Um,
That's
but
crazy.
it's interesting. It's interesting though because the way YouTube isn't how it used to be, where you grow
Mm,
a fan base and they all come specifically for you and your content. There's still content creators out there that do that, and they do have those audiences that just come for them. But when you take the road that I did as far as like the shorts algorithm, the shorts
mm,
algorithm isn't necessarily for people that come for you. They come for that little piece of content that you made and that subject. So I built a
mm,
lot of subscribers. I built a lot of subscribers that came for whatever my shorts topics were. Whether it was I was
mm,
covering something else that like, a situation happened in the world that doesn't have to do with me, but I gave my input on it, or or man, it's hard to explain. If they come for the content that's regarding like a specific topic, then
Yeah.
the algorithm isn't going to bring that traffic back to your channel. It's going to just bring it to content that's like that specific topic. So right now, I'm trying to figure out how to like bring it all back to just people coming for me and just uh, well, my perspective alone. So,
Right.
it's
So
but I say
go ahead, go first.
so I say that to say it's easier when you go for just it's easier to gain subscribers when you just go for like the shorts algorithm. People fall in love with that specific video or that specific subject or that topic. So like
Hmm.
they'll hit subscribe. It's like easier to hit subscribe. It's easier to hit subscribe when it's just when you
Hmm.
go that route. When you go that route, and that's how you build a YouTube platform to that many subscribers. If you just go crazy on your shorts, you know?
Shorts.
But the part that the thing that's not so good about that is it's hard to get them to come for your long form when they just come for the short. So it's like
In
you
the
gotta
long
find
form, right? The long form, I'm assuming, is where you monetize and where you're actually able to get those ads running because it's probably. Can you monetize on shorts?
yeah, you can now. They just started in February. They made it so you can short.
Okay. What does that look like compared to? Honestly, I'm gonna ask some selfish questions because I need to learn this. What's like the difference between getting monetized on long form content? Is it like X amount more, percentage more versus you get monetized on shorts?
Shorts, there's not that much money as far as like the shorts. Everybody's is different. It depends on your needs. Some niches will pay out like I don't want to say the wrong number, so I'm not gonna. Some niches, like if you go on a finance channel, then those
Hmm.
advertisers will pay YouTube more to get their commercials
Hmm.
or advertisements in front of that audience. But if you're doing like stupid like comedy stuff, like how I'm like doing and like this funny stuff and like world stuff, hip
Hmm.
hop ish type of stuff, those
Yeah.
advertisers pay less, so you'll get paid less. So you gotta make a lot of like content to get like a decent amount of money versus long form where people are rich off
Hmm. Yeah. So walk me through how you even got into content because I know V Dwayne, the rapper, V Dwayne in North Portland. So like, take me back to high school. You graduate. Were you hooping in high school too, or you just
that.
around the hoop? Oh, okay,
I did hoop, but I wasn't the best
okay,
at it.
yeah. So after you got done hooping, then you started doing music in high school as well.
Yeah, I was doing music in high school. Like I was going to the studio, at Roosevelt High School in North Portland. I was going
Uh,
to that studio in that school all the time. Music was always the thing that I did. Like I always loved to express my current situation through music. And I did play three sports in high school, but it was always like I was an artsy dude. I ended up going to art college in Chicago.
hmm
Yeah.
One thing about you that I bet you translated well was you were a storyteller. Like you were on more of that J. Cole vibe, that conscious rap. It wasn't just some BS. You actually were, like you said, talking about your life and your experiences. How did that translate to YouTube and making content, or did it?
Uh, I think that it does translate because I was so open in music. Like I would be so vulnerable and tell embarrassing stories about myself through music and stuff. It's like it translates because I'm the same way with content. Like I'm not really too shy to say anything on camera about myself. I'm like okay with being open. I don't get like all the way personal about private life and everything, but I'm pretty much just an open book. And I think that stems from music. And as far as like with that,
Mm,
like it, as far as how it came about, I think that people always I think that people always I had like a my music was kind of serious, you know what I'm saying? So people only see
hmm.
me in one dimension as a rapper versus like
Yeah.
my friends that know me to be funny and goofy and crack jokes all the time and stuff and they get to see this side of me. I think that's why it's like working more than music. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I
I
know
love music though.
Oh, yeah, no, no, man. They gotta go, but you have a catalog. I think that's what people don't realize. Like, you really
Yeah,
did it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess the question I have for you is being vulnerable, because that took me a while. Like, I'm just getting on to doing content, doing podcasts probably the last 2 years. I've always had I would say, insecurity. Like, oh, I want to make sure I look perfect for the camera. I want to make sure the pictures look good. And then it got to a point where I'm like, if I have enough value, and I do, because people tell me, like, my friends, like, dude, you got to tell about real estate. You got to talk about how you quit your corporate job, how you crushed it in sales. I'm like, oh, I'm being selfish if I don't get out there and be vulnerable. And like you did today, you pointed at me like, yeah, exactly. So did you have that turning point, or when was that?
That's so real, bro. It's so real that you said that because it's like it's selfish is the perfect word. And what I see in you, it's like almost like it's a natural gift, and it's like all it takes, all it takes is like repetition. And it's just like with music. Once you have that catalog of like knowledge, I mean, if you have a catalog of like information, then the algorithm is going to send a flood of people to your platform or whatever. And the way
Mm,
that you're going about yours right now is just like I'm not like shocked or surprised, but it's like damn, like this whole time he had in it, that it factor in him to where he could just talk about his regular life or his normal life and it'd be so valuable to other people, you know. So that's why I'm like happy, excited to see you do this. And it's like, damn. Like, even when you
that's
made your
love.
first video, I was like, hell yeah. I was like, hell yeah, bro, keep doing that shit. Like
Yeah, I
I was
remember that. I'm
noticing,
like, oh
man.
man, I was so nervous.
Yeah, yeah,
So what was the factor in your life where you? Because for me, I kind of remember a certain time where I said, "F it, I'm going all in. I don't care what people think," even though I still did, but it's worth, I guess, the sacrifice of having still some insecurities. Do you still have those putting out this kind of content, or is it just totally gone? Like, walk me through that process. 'Cause I know a lot of people struggle with that.
yeah, bro. It was literally a moment where my back was against the wall. I needed to like it gets deep, man. It's like my back was against the wall. I had to figure out how to like make money legally because
Mm,
here in Chicago I was doing X, Y, and Z to make money, and I got into a legal situation in Portland at the airport, and I felt like it was just like a sign from God. It was like, yo, Vinny, you're doing too much. You got to figure something out. You got to use what you have. And I'm not one of those artists, rap artists that could drop a song every week. You know, like I respect all
mm,
those artists that could write 10 songs a day in the studio and drop music consistently. Because in this day and age of rap, bro, there's no hiatus. You can't take a break. People are gonna forget you. You can't,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You gotta be dropping. And I'm not. I write from. I tell the stories that are in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I need
Hmm.
time to like make music. So I'm like, what can I do to like make like a lot of content? You know what I'm saying? Every week, like put out 4 or 5 different pieces of content a week. And I was just like, fuck it, man. I'm just gonna be myself. I'm just gonna react
Mm,
to videos and just go crazy because my back was against the wall. I had to figure out something to do. There's a stigma when it comes to like reaction videos because like who wants to hear about a guy talk about like like a patient in the hospital and he doesn't have knowledge on being a doctor or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I found
mm,
things that are like not so deep that I react to, and I just made a lot of it, and it was just like I knew people were gonna look at me like, what is he doing? Why is he sitting here talking to himself? And like, I didn't get a lot of views at first, you know, I was getting 50 views, 40 views on a channel that had decent views for music, and I was just like, I'm trying to push through it. I'm not gonna care what people think because I gotta do it. It's like I had to bet on myself. I didn't want to go get a job.
mm,
Like I was applying for jobs. I'm not the best when it comes to resumes. I'm not the best when it comes to like working for somebody. I'm kind of like arrogant to myself even. I'm stubborn to myself. I'm like a perfectionist and you know I just had to do something better on myself. And that's
mm.
really the only thing I could think of. And I was just blessed. It was a blessing from God that it figured out I found a lane in it. You know what I'm saying? and I'm still not even where I need to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to grow. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
thinking about that 2 second rule. Like at the beginning of your content, you need that 2 seconds to
Mm-hmm.
then like how your great 2 second in your content, your last like one of the last few ones, you started off with uh, Airbnb is dead, and let me tell you why. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to practice those, get better at those, and like I'm studying like the whole formula. And, you know, there's still a lot of room for growth.
No, 100%. And I feel the same way. I mean, I'm a rookie compared to you right now because I'm just trying different things. But yeah, that 2 second hook, man, it's like for me, I'm like not trying to make it too clickbaity, but at the same time, make it so the algorithm will pick that up and people be like, oh man, what is he saying? Like make it a little bit
Yeah,
controversial. Have you figured
right.
out like is there a prompt? Have you actually? It's kind of a total side question. Have you leveraged AI at all? Like, what are the prompts that are most successful right now on YouTube Shorts or et cetera, TikTok?
Oh, yeah, man. AI came into play in my journey like probably like 5 months in. Like I tell
Yeah.
people all the time to utilize AI, use it as a tool. But yeah, I'm sitting here just like when it came around, when ChatGPT came around, ChatGPT specifically, when that came around, I was playing with it. I was talking to it like every single day. Pretty much. I was just asking the questions, sitting there talking to it like it was a human. Like what do I do if my nephew is annoying me? Like I can't stand him right now. It was responding like take some time away from him, don't flash, don't spaz out, and stuff like that. So I was just playing with it. And I started asking the
Yeah.
questions about YouTube, and I was like, "So, what do you know about the YouTube
Mm.
algorithm? Like, what do you know about getting maximum exposure in YouTube's algorithm?" And I was like, "Well, okay, so write me a YouTube title and description that'll get maximum exposure to YouTube algorithm." And then they started giving, and I was like, give me 20 hashtags with it. And they just started giving me like these titles, play with them, then use the hashtags. So I feel like it helped with my SEO. What is it? Like, like just getting, like, just titling things the right way.
Yeah.
Because at first
Search.
I
Yeah.
wasn't, so I wasn't, like, I didn't have the best titles when I started, but I think it helped, AI helped with like just me having like the right titles. So that's always the hardest thing to do on YouTube. Those titles and those descriptions and do they even matter? But that's how I utilize AI. I use ChatGPT to help with my titles, descriptions, hashtags.
What about chopping your stuff up? Because I know you do have longer form content. Do you use AI or some AI software tools to be like, here's 15, minutes, find the best, most engaging parts of it?
There is uh, programs. There is what is it? What
I
is
think
it?
one I got
There's a
told was
program.
like Opus AI or something. Opus something.
Yeah,
I forget how to written
yeah,
down.
yeah. Get much and video AI or something like that. I played around
Mm-hmm.
those two. Those like you give it you feed it a link. And then it scans through it in like minutes, and then it tells you the most interesting keywords in your video, and then it puts you up like 4, 5, 6 different short form videos and stuff. And I played around
Mm-hmm.
with that for a little bit, but I just noticed that I was finding more important things in the video. I don't know if they've mastered it yet to like know exactly what, because I think it comes down to facial expressions. I think it comes down to a lot of factors that that I don't know if it's all the way there yet. So I do all the clipping it up myself. Like I find all my peak moments and content myself. But I can't
That's
wait
actually
until they,
that's your specialty.
yeah,
I was gonna say that's like your specialty right now is doing those like close up shots and then like the comedy aspect of it. Like that's what you're really
yeah,
really good at, and people are even sending you stuff to do now.
yeah, yeah. That's it. Yeah, you're right.
So what's the YouTube is one platform. Have you found it tough to then transfer that YouTube audience to another platform? I feel like a lot of people have trouble going from Instagram to YouTube, but what about YouTube to other platforms? Or have you just basically said, YouTube's my bread and butter, this is where I'm making my money. I'm just gonna go all in on this one platform.
Yeah, so I'm a firm believer in like pouring all into one thing. And because at first I was trying to do all this different stuff, and do a little bit here and do a little bit there, and but that like waters down your whatever you're trying to pour into it, waters it down. So for the most part, I'm just going straight for YouTube. I'm trying to master and learn YouTube, and I'm still trying to get better at long form right now. In this moment. I'm still trying to get better at short. So I'm like kind of like going into Instagram.
Hmm.
It's a different, like you said, it's like, but in my eyes, like Instagram is more like a popularity contest, and YouTube is a hub for people that want to come see you. And,
Mm.
but there's an art in in working the YouTube, the Instagram algorithm too. But right now, like my main focus is just YouTube. I'm trying to go to the. It's hard. It is hard to do.
Yeah. And many people have said that. People that popped off on one platform, like, dude, I'm trying to get it back to this other one. I can't figure it out. And it is interesting to see
Right.
how the algorithm, man, I'm still figuring it out, man. It's confusing. What about
Yeah. Well,
what's the video? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say the thing is like it makes this a little like so when you jump in on YouTube, you're like going into a pool of people that are just getting to know you for you. Yeah, you don't have the
Mm-hmm.
baggage of people knowing you from childhood on Facebook, so they might not even like they'll joke around with you in a different way than people on YouTube, and it's the same thing on Instagram. So that's another reason why I haven't like fully gone into Instagram and Facebook.
All right, you just brought up something I got to ask about and talk about. So, our friends that know us for a long time, they have this version of Jesse, this version of Vinny that they know, right? And then they try to keep that narrative about you, even though, you know, people say don't change up on us. Like, I'm gonna change and grow. That's just who I am as a person. I'm gonna try to get to the next level. I'm sorry, I'm gonna change. That's gonna happen, but people don't want you to change. So how has that been to those friends? Like for me, I had I still love all my day ones. Like those are my people. But at the same time, if they're not, contributing to my growth or having conversations I want to have and still gossiping or want to party, I'm like, hey, that's just not what I do anymore. So I'm gonna slowly distance myself. That was kind of my route that I took. Like they'll call me anytime and I'll show love and they're still my people. But at the same time, I can't have that time spent with them because like our quote for Growth House is you become who you surround yourself with. And I believe that so much. What's been your journey with those friends that you love, but they're not on the same wavelength as you anymore?
It's so similar, bro. It's so similar. I think for the first time in my life, I really come to grips with just surrounding myself and talking to people and investing in people and listening to the people that have like-minded goals and I don't know if crazy is the word, but just think that you could chase after something that's not necessarily close. Because at first, like for the longest for since up until like maybe last year, I was always like it's like what is it called? Survivor's guilt. It's like I was
Mm,
always trying to like surround myself with like quote unquote day one homies and stuff like that because
mm,
I didn't want to be the guy that switched up on his homies and turned his back on the North Portland and stuff. But
mm,
I just started looking at everything in my life and I'm like in order to see different results you have to make a change to your day to day habits, your day to day
mm.
behaviors. Like that was something that I had to change too, and that's probably something that was holding me back. And it's like until I fucking made that decision to like,
Mm.
okay, I'm not gonna like talk to people that aren't necessarily chasing after something as much, or they don't believe in me, or like I'm just like I'm in tunnel vision right now. I'm trying to get to where I'm trying to get. It's like
Mm.
that's gonna come with cutting ties with people, and like you said, slowly distancing away. Same
Right.
way, bro.
Yeah, and I think slow distancing is like the route to go because it's not like you're cutting someone off cold turkey or you have to have some crazy conversation. Hey, you're just not, you know, I want to get to here and you're holding me back. Like I didn't have those conversations. It was just kind of obvious. Like, all right, Jesse's not coming out with us every Thursday, Friday, Saturday anymore. I probably should stop inviting him. Like that's as simple as it can be. Just be, hey, I'm busy. I'm working this day. Hey, you do it 4 or 5 times. those people who most likely the only common interest you have is drinking and partying will stop hitting you up and you're boring. And that's that. I was like, okay, finally, yeah, I made it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, bro.
So tell me, I know I kind of asked you this question in advance, and I'm curious, what's been something for you that was one of your like not I don't like to say failure, but more of a learning lesson. Like, man, that was tough, that sucked, but I was able to bounce back, and this is how I bounce back. Could be music, could be content, like something that you're like, man, I'm almost feel like I'm about to hit rock bottom again, but you dug your way out.
Oh, bro. So back to that whole partying and hanging out with, associations where it just got super toxic. I was like partying and like taking drugs, you know, hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Just doing the most, doing the absolute most. And like, probably like, it was like almost a year ago now, overdosed. What I thought was just a regular Percocet, because
Mm,
they told me it was real and they told me it was from the hospital and stuff. And it was like right before I started, like right around the time I started the YouTube thing, making videos and overdose, made it, and the doctor was like, "Yo, the amount of fentanyl that was in your system, like we don't know how you got through that." I was just like, it was just
mm,
another wake up call that, it was another wake up call that I had to stop tending to those demons that I was running to all the time, and it was probably the lowest that I've been in. You know what I'm saying? Just getting through that
mm,
was the motivation that I needed. And it's a lot of pressure, bro, when you come from like a small town and people look at like
mm,
people in Portland that they see you as, I don't know, if like a role model almost. And when people expect so much of you, you know what I'm saying, that pressure kind of is like, damn, I gotta do something. People expect me to be a rapper and stuff like that. It was just like it was like a lot of weighing on me from my family, from my friends, you know, trying to hold up to this image like the scholar, just saying like,
mm,
couldn't get help. I couldn't get help going into like the directions I was trying to get, but people like were taking from me and wanting from me and wanting to utilize me just for them and their own reasons. It was just super hard, you know what I'm saying? It was just super hard. So like it all comes back to like betting on yourself and just fighting through that, you know what I'm saying? And just getting through it and just trying something. You know what I mean?
mm.
Yeah, that was.
That's real, man. I don't even know that story. I think for a lot of
Oh, you
people,
did not that on? I thought that.
I don't think so, man. Man, talk about the comeback and bounce back. And I think a lot of people, for me, like when I go through, situations, not as crazy as that situation, but like I have usually a mentor, a coach in my corner, or I lean, I should be leaning on my faith at all times, but that's even one more. I'm like, man, I really got to lean on my faith on this one. Is there
Right.
someone in your life, or even I think actually I've heard you on podcasts talk a little bit more about faith. Has that kind of played a bigger role in your life the last couple of years?
Yeah, I do have a support system. I do have a support system
Mm,
of people. But the craziest part is like I had like a but I've also been let down by like people that I looked up to in the sense of where it's like, damn, I thought you wanted what was best for me, but you just wanted to like use me for what was best for you. And
mm,
really looked up to this person. So it's like I've been let down by mentors, like in a way where it's like selfish ways, because
mm,
everybody wants your best interest. You know what I'm saying? It's like some mentors
yeah.
could be secretly hating. Some mentors could be secretly hating. I'm pretty
Mm,
sure you ran into that.
yeah. You got to be definitely careful about who you trust, especially with things that can backfire on you. But no, you're totally right. I mean, for me, I guess that thorough vetting. Because actually, I have a lot of people that reach out like, "Hey, what do you think of this dude? What do you think of this dude?" And for me, I'm like, check receipts. Like, ask. If you're talking about some coach online, ask to have a call with a couple of his clients to see how legit he is. I think right now we kind of live in this guru space, and so everyone's doing way better than they really are. Instagram's a highlight reel. And, that's something that I fell victim to. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to post, all the cool things that happened, my highlights. But I'm like, man, they don't realize I've had 30 L's I've taken before this one cool thing the only thing I post is me buying that first house. What about the
Right.
5 years where I was in my room just looking at these books, analysis paralysis, stuck in my own thoughts? Like, people don't see that. People don't see that in order to save up all the money to buy that first house, it was me living in a studio with like nothing on the walls, because that was for me my motivation to not feel like I'm content and comfortable in this studio, because I know I'm going to buy a house eventually. And so, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things we can talk about there. I guess where I want to
Man,
take this, well, what's up?
I gotta bring you on. I gotta bring you on my show and
I
get
love
on
it.
the game, run that down, man.
For sure, man. It's crazy because I'm now surrounded by these guys that think so much bigger than I do. And for me, just getting around other people and like these masterminds and stuff. People are like, why do you pay money to go hang out with people? It's because it's changing my internal beliefs. My internal beliefs was, it just sounds so stupid, but it's like I wanted to be fit and make six figures. That was my first like cool thing I wanted to hit coming out of college. And then I hit that. And I'm like, okay, now what? Now I want to become financially independent, quit my job, basically, living off of passive, semi-passive income. I hit that. Now what? And so for me, it's been this journey of like hitting these pinnacles, but then realizing there's always another level to climb. And for me, it's just falling in love with the journey. Like, it's not about the money, it's more about who I'm becoming. And then from there, like, who can I serve? Who can I help? Who can I like inspire? And so that's kind of the journey I'm at right now, is now going from, living off some cool cash flow, but now I want to do more. I'm more ambitious than just doing that. Now I want to actually become a business owner and employ people and create the best job for people that maybe don't want to be entrepreneurs. I want to be, of service to other people in that regard. So it's been a journey, man. It's been fun, but there's definitely ups and downs. It's not all highlights.
Hey, it's motivating me a lot, man. I look at you as a whole inspiration, bro. If you really doing this, man. See it, understand it, see it, see it. Like, strive to get
Yeah,
there.
and it's love, man. And I think what I want to kind of end this on is, I got three questions for you. Um, but what's one piece of advice you think someone just getting into YouTube, or yeah, let's just stick with YouTube. Someone getting into YouTube wants to be a content creator. They want to make, let's say, 4 to 5K to be able to do this full time as a content creator. What's your advice to build that audience to be able to monetize?
I would say first, find your niche. That's the first thing. Find
Mm,
your niche. Find what topic you're going to jump into. Find what you could talk about or make just effortlessly, like not effortlessly like that, but just like something that you really enjoy talking about or doing, like as far as like creating the content. And then I would say get better every video, every like start bad, like start making bad videos. Like that's the only way to
mm,
start. Like start making terrible content. Start making
yeah,
the worst content that you can make. You know what I'm saying? Like just start making
yeah.
bad content and get brave enough to put that. Out. And then from there, look at your analytics and learn and see where your audience is dropping off at. Start seeing where people are like, click, even if it's 5 people, did those 2 people click off? Like did 50% click off like at the very beginning? All they did, now make a stronger hook. And now get better
Mm,
at like just keeping the audience engaged for that video. And then do that over and over and over again. And then learn the shorts game because everything is short content now. Everything is reels. Start learning how to do that same thing in videos. And I think if you do that just over and over, because it's about the catalog at the end of the day. It's like not necessarily
mm,
you don't have to make A+ content all the time. But if you can make like C+ and get like good retention rates on all your videos and you just build that catalog, YouTube is gonna bless you. I think I saw like in one because I go to the YouTube meetings every couple times a month and they always have like huge $1 million subscriber guys that come present and tell us about their journey and stuff. One guy came in there and he was like, when I was starting out, I was in a, he said he ran into a guy with a channel of like 2 million subscribers and he asked that guy, what's the secret sauce? How did he get a platform to 2 million subscribers, millions of views on every video. And the guy told him there's no secret sauce. It's just uh, repetition and building that kettle. So anybody can
Mm,
necessarily like make this content. It's just like you have to have enough drive to get through rush patches and get that catalog to where people could just stay on YouTube on your videos for like hours. Because at the end of the day, YouTube just wants you to keep people on their platform. So if you could do that,
hmm
then YouTube is going to bless you. YouTube wants to reward you. And I sound like one of those people working for YouTube now. Talking about all the good, talking about all the good stuff and like not all the shady stuff that goes on. But I think it's true though. I wouldn't be saying it if I didn't think it's true because every time I've made content and like they bless my channel, like they sent the traffic through, and it's like you just once they see that you're consistent, and you're coming through, then they're gonna send that traffic through. So it's like you gotta be okay with you gotta like put your pride aside and be okay with not
hmm
having those views at the beginning.
Man, that's a masterclass itself right there, man. That's some great game. There's two things I took away from that was one, there's no perfect timing. Imperfect action, just take the action is better than no action, right? And so it's kind of what you're saying. Just go out there, do it. It's not going to be perfect. You're probably going to suck. Actually, I guarantee you'll suck. I mean, if you look at my first videos ever, I'm like, I was boring. I had people in my comments, no charisma. Like, this dude is lame. Like, and I'm like, I'm looking back, I'm like, yeah, it's true. And you got to be okay with that. You just got to, like you said. And then also, number two is consistency. That's why I keep hearing,
Yeah.
in and out is just being consistent. All right, we got the last three quick questions. I don't know if you're a
Mhm.
reader or more of a podcast guy. What's like a podcast or a book that kind of helped you along the journey?
A book that helped me along the journey and helped me get out like a rut, like a funk, was Seat of the Soul. Have you heard of that book?
Mm,
It's like kind of like, have you read the 48 Laws of Power?
okay, I should, but I have not yet.
Okay, so the 48 Laws of Power, I think, is like a manipulative, like it's just like to manipulate people, and it's about
Uh,
power and looking like you have the power and making people think and perceive you as being somebody, and how do you like manipulate someone to do this and find people's weaknesses and prey on that. Like, that's the 48 Laws of
mm,
Power. But the seed of the soul is kind of similar to that, but it's like it's about internal power. So it's talking about like
mm,
how do you feel and like how do you like have that power inside yourself, And I can't really get to. I haven't read it in so long. For a long time. I used
mm,
to be able to like break it all the way down, but it's just about like having internal power versus external power. 48 laws of power. Like it's like finding that internal peace, internal power, and rebuilding yourself. And I wish I could like break down some of the terminology, but Seat of the Soul is like a book that if I go back and read it, like it recharges me every single time. It's kind of like The Alchemist. The
mm.
Alchemist like really, Alchemist really charges me up.
I love that. What about
Yeah.
where's Vinny Dwayne in, let's just say, a year and then 3 years?
I think in a year, I have like doing crazy numbers long form videos. I'm gonna be like helping other people with their YouTube channels. I'm gonna be more in a financial position to do more things that I want to do as far as content. Uh, Hopefully, traveling more. Depends on if I'm in your courses. To, to beat things up. What I'm saying?
And we can
In
always
three
trade off,
years, man.
man. I got you some real estate game. You put me on some YouTube game, man. I think it's fair.
Yeah, man. The 3 years, no, that would be great. That would be wonderful. 3 years, man. 3 years, 32 in 3 years. I just want to be, I want to start thinking about like family and stuff. Like I don't know
Mm,
necessarily exactly what it's going to be, but it's just going to be family. It's going to be secure. Uh, man, it's a trip, man. There's so much stuff is going on there. And I hate to say this because I know it's not a good look to say. We're gonna be in 3 years. So,
Life moves fast. I mean, I've pivoted many times in the last year, so I get it. I get it. But I think my coach has really, pushed me and helped me say, Jesse, you're God. Only God can control what's going to happen, right? But you can at least have some kind of game plan and find clarity on what is that 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, game plan look like. I guess the last question would be, how do people find you? First of all, they need to go back and watch some of those YouTube videos you rapping because man, like
yeah,
seriously, you inspired me. Um, I think the stories are still so relatable. It's real life. So how can people find you with the music, and then how can people find you with the content?
damn, bro. You don't even know how much it means to me to hear that because I don't get to hear it all the time. Like, as far away as I get, like I just like, damn, do you even remember that? I did pour a lot into those. But yeah, I'm on YouTube. Vinnie Dwayne, VINNIE, um, Instagram, V Dwayne, and I'm kind of transitioning into a new persona by the name of Cousin Vinny, and I'm gonna
Okay.
be doing make I'm gonna be making more content by that name. But yeah, I'm just YouTube, Instagram, Thread, Twitter, same thing. Yeah,
V Dwayne, cousin Vinny. It's been a pleasure, man.
yeah, bro. Appreciate you, Jesse, bro. You an inspiration. It was an honor to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, you know what I'm saying, got to do is reach out, man. Been able to reach out to you and ask you questions, and you've been there with me. You put me on game with the calendar. I feel so bougie now. Send the calendar link to people that schedule.
My friends are
Because
so
I
mad.
do it.
Like, dude,
I
you sent me
do
a
it.
calendar link? Like, bro, I will forget if it's not on my calendar.
I love doing
That's
it, bro.
funny.
I love doing it. I trip people out every single
Make people respect their time a little more. That's how I feel.
time. Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate you. Obviously, we won't stay in touch. This is Growth House
Yeah.
Combos with B Dwayne, and we're signing
Yeah.
out.
Thank you, man. Let's get straight to it, man.